up, guys? I'm back. Sorry for the delay. Life gets in the way. But today, we're here to talk about the CZ P10C. But before we dive headfirst into that, make sure you're following me on Instagram at MadMaxGuns. I'll leave it right here for you. You'd be seeing a lot of behind the scenes stuff that's going to be coming, stuff in the past, stuff that you're not going to see on here just because this takes way more time and effort than just putting something on Instagram. But yeah, make sure you check that out again at MadMaxGuns, and also subscribe to me on here for obvious reasons. But let's get into it. So what we have here is a CZ P10C. C is for compact. They now have the subcompact with P10S, and then a full size was the P10F. But this was the first one that came out. It's CZ's. It's their first voyage into striker fire pistols. Most of their stuff's high-end hammer fired pistols like race guns. But really what this is a improved Glock. Really an improved Glock Gen 4, because the Gen 5 took a lot of stuff from this, or maybe this took a lot of stuff from the Gen 5. I'm pretty sure this came out before the Gen 5. But that's neither here nor there. But at the end of the day, this is essentially an improved Glock, somewhere between 19 and 17. Slightly bigger than a 19. I'll see if I can zoom in there for you. But yeah, the only thing, I'm going to get this out of the way up front. The only thing that Glock has on the CZ is availability of the gun, because of how common Glocks are, and parts availability and customization. Being that this is a newer model, probably about 3 years old now. Other than parts availability and customization, this pretty much is better than the Glock in every way. People either hate or love the grip angle of the Glock. It's a little more exaggerated, but what I do like about that is when you're driving it forward, in order to get the angle you need, you're driving the gun forward. Whereas this has a more comfortable, natural feel. If you can see that there, it's more like the 1911 grip angle, or just like a typical pistol grip angle. It just feels better in the hand. This does a lot of the things that people do aftermarket wise to like a typical Glock 19. Not as much the Gen 5s, but the Gen 4s. There's no finger grooves here. The grip is very aggressive on the front and back of the grip here, but on the sides it's a little more soft. Not quite soft, but not as aggressive. It's got nice front and back slide serrations. Those are kind of like cheese gratery, but positive. I like them. Get your press checks in that piss people off. The sights are metal, not polymer. The front sight is glow in the dark, so it's something that you don't have to upgrade later. It comes out the box full ambi, which they picked up on the Gen 5s, but both sides. Some people with the ambi mag release run into the problem where, depending on how tight they grip it, some people have their finger come through their fingers, their left fingers come through their right fingers if they're shooting righty, and they squeeze so hard where it'll eject it. But I don't run into that problem. Just make sure you keep your fingers over fingers instead of fingers in the fingers, and you won't have that problem. Moving forward, it does have a ambi slide release or slide lock, depending on who you are and what you want to call it. The trigger is probably the biggest thing for me that makes this shine over a Glock, and how positive it is. Like, you're hitting like a very distinct wall, and yeah, there's a little mush, but the reset's super short, and the trigger is night and day. It's night and day better than a Glock. Like, this has lots of rounds through it, so it's broken in, but you're kind of hitting a wall there, and then it's mush, 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 and then you break. See that all that travel. Initially, a lot of people were saying this fit in Glock 19 holsters. I've not had that experience. The only holsters that this have fit in for my Glock 19 are ones that are cut for lights, and then when this doesn't have a light on it. My Blade Tech and then my T-Rex Arms holsters that aren't for a light, this will not fit in. So I don't know why, or if I just have to loosen them up, but it's very easy just to buy a holster for this. Not a big deal. That definitely wasn't a turn away for me. I should have mentioned this in the beginning, but magazines, while they are metal, definitely higher quality than stock Glock mags. They're expensive. They're like $40 to $50, maybe $35. I don't really remember. I only bought a couple of them. But they do the same thing that the new Glock mags do with the orange follower. You can recognize that your chamber's empty if this wasn't enough for you. But overall, I've had this gun for probably 3 years. I got it right after it first came out. And I think back then it was like $550 for the tan one and then $499 for the black one. And I don't like having anything normal. That's just me being a hipster, I guess. But $550 and you're getting a Glock that has new sights, a better trigger, already has the grip, and is ambi, and has the slide serrations, and for all intents and purposes just as accurate. I don't know how you measure accuracy in striker fired handguns, but I've made plenty of hits out to like 100 with this, hits out to 150, but kind of shooting downhill. I don't really have the videos of that anymore, but the gun's just a dream to shoot. I've probably, I definitely have more rounds through my Glock, but I probably have somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 rounds on this, and I have had about, I think I've had 4 malfunctions with it. They were all stovepipes, and most of them I remember having on camera, but I guess that's from having maybe a light load, but 4 malfunctions in upwards of 5,000 rounds really isn't bad, in my opinion. Some people might find that unacceptable, but I've shot steel case, aluminum case, especially in the the great ammo shortage of 2020. I've been shooting pretty much all steel and aluminum cased ammo through my 9mm, and this has fared just fine. But at the end of the day, would I suggest this over a Glock for your first gun? Or handgun, I should say. And that depends. Depends on what you're going to be doing with it. If it's going to be like an everyday carry, I might push you in the direction of a Glock. If it's something like a range gun, I might push you in the direction of a Glock. It depends on who you are as a person. If you like customizing stuff, or do you like just off the shelf carry and go on with your day. If you're one of those people off the shelf and don't want to do anything to it, this is your gun. If you want to, get slide cuts and slide serrations and you don't mind doing all this extra stuff, I would say Glock 19 all day. This is my first handgun, and I would not trade it for anything in the world. I don't know. Again, different strokes for different folks. I would 100% say this is a better gun off the shelf than this, but you're going for 2 different cars. I guess I always joke that Glocks are the Toyota Corollas or Toyota Camrys of handguns, but it's probably more along the lines of like a Honda Civic, a 97 Honda Civic, if you get what I'm going towards. And this is like more like a Toyota Corolla, I guess. You're going to do everything out of this world to this, and you're going to beat the piss out of it, and you're probably going to blow it up. Not really. I guess that wasn't that good of a comparison, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying. At the end of the day, big fan of this. CZ P10C definitely gets 2 thumbs up from me. A lot of times I suggest this to new shooters off the rip now. If you're military, law enforcement, emergency services, I'll tell you to get a Glock just because of the blue ribbon deal. You're paying like $100 some less than you would MSRP. But again, that's semantics. CZ P10C, what's not to like? Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of this video, and if you were looking for something to push you off the fence one side or the other to this, I hope this helped you out. Again, I can't recommend it enough. We're at that part of the video. If you liked the video, make sure you gave it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, eat a dick. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments. If you don't subscribe already, like I said before, subscribe, share away, and we'll see you next time. This video is probably going to be my last for maybe a month. Moving, life happens, and there's going to be a lot of changes going on. Going to eventually have a new set, and then plus, it's getting cold outside, so shooting is going to be more difficult. Again, see you next time. Thanks for watching.